Hi guys, welcome to Schwartz and Sarcasm. I'm Caroline, and as we are nearing the end of the year, I thought I would give you a nice little alphabetized list of all the books I am looking forward to reading next year when they are published. So I have pre-ordered some of them, most of them, I can't remember, but chances are I've probably pre-ordered them. Right, now that I've had my coffee, we can get into it. So first is Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. Dana Schwartz is maybe possibly best known for her podcast Noble Blood, which is excellent, would recommend. And she has also written other books. She's written Choose Your Own Disaster, which I cannot remember if it's a memoir or a fiction book. I think it's a memoir of her early 20s. She has written other fiction books. This is a YA romance book about a female surgeon and a male body snatcher in 1800s Edinburgh. So that's perfect for me. And it comes out on January 18th. And I do have this pre-ordered. I think it's going to my parents' house. Oops. Hazel Sinnott is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry. Jack Kerr is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. When the two of them have a chance encounter outside the Edinburgh Anatomist Society, Hazel thinks nothing of it at first. But after she gets kicked out of a renowned surgeon, Miss Dr. Beecham's lectures for being the wrong gender, she realizes that her new acquaintance might be more helpful than she first thought, because Hazel has made a deal with Dr. Beecham. If she can pass medical examinations on her own, the university will allow her to enroll. Without official lessons, though, Hazel will need more than just her books. She'll need bodies to study, corpses to dissect. But Jack has his own problems. Strange men have been skulking around cemeteries. His friends are disappearing off the streets. Hazel and Jack work together to uncover the secrets buried not just in unmarked graves, but in the very heart of Edinburgh society. I think we might get at least a cameo of the famous body murderers, Burke and Hare, who, instead of just digging up fresh corpses, created their own to fund this specific medical problem of doctors and doctor hopefuls needing bodies to dig around in. Moving on. Electra by Jennifer Saint. Jennifer Saint wrote Ariadne, which was one of my favorite books this year, and so I am pumped for Electra. The house of Atreus is cursed, a bloodline tainted by a generational cycle of violence and vengeance. This is the story of three women, their fates inextricably tied to this curse and the fickle nature of men and gods. Clytemnestra, the sister of Helen, wife of Agamemnon, she hopes of averting the curse, are dashed when her sister is taken to Troy by the feckless Paris. Her husband raises a great army against them and determined to win whatever the cost. Cassandra, princess of Troy and cursed by Apollo to see the future but never to be believed when she speaks of it. She is powerless in her knowledge that the city will fall. Electra, the youngest daughter of Clytemnestra and Agamemnon. Electra is horrified at the bloodletting of her kin, but can she escape the curse, or is her own destiny bound by violence? So I do know this story reasonably well, and I think probably most people do, but I love Jennifer Saint's writing. I think that she weaves a beautiful story. And so this is published on April 18th. Moving on. Gallant by V. Schwab. V. Schwab is the author of the Shades of Magic series and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which came out in 2020. And Gallant comes out on March 1st. And I do have this one pre-ordered. Olivia Pryor has grown up in Maryland School for Girls, and she has all of her past in her mother's journals, which seem to unravel into madness. Then a letter invites Olivia to come home to Gallant. Yet when Olivia arrives, no one is expecting her, but Olivia is not about to leave the first place that feels like home. It doesn't matter if her cousin Matthew is hostile or if she sees half-formed ghouls haunting the hallways. Olivia knows that Gallant is hiding secrets, and she is determined to uncover them. When she crosses a ruined wall at just the right moment, Olivia finds herself in a place that is gallant but not. The manor is crumbling, the ghouls are solid, and a mysterious figure rules over them. Now Olivia sees what has unraveled generations of her family and where her father may have come from. Olivia has always wanted to belong somewhere, but will she take her place as a prior protecting the world against the master of the house, or will she take her place beside him? Sirens ruining my videos yet again. So yeah, pumped for this. I love Schwab's writing. Well, she's written a lot of books, so I can't say I've read most of them. I've read a good amount of her books and have liked them all. Next, a new book from Casey McQuiston, author of One Last Stop and Red, White, and Royal Blue, both of which I really liked. I Kissed Shara Wheeler, and this comes out on May 3rd. And Chloe Green is so close to winning. After her mom's moved her from SoCal to Alabama for high school, she spent the past 4 years dodging gossipy classmates and puritanical administration at Willow Grove Christian Academy. The thing that's kept her going, winning valedictorian. Her only rival, prom queen Shara Wheeler, the principal's perfect progeny. Whoever wrote this blurb really likes alliteration. There's a huge fly in here, and I am dreading becoming that meme of Mike Pence. But a month before graduation, Shara kisses Chloe and vanishes. On a furious hunt for answers, Chloe discovers that she is not the only one Shara kissed. There's also Smith, Shara's longtime quarterback sweetheart, and Rory, Shara's bad boy neighbor with a crush. The three of them have nothing in common except Shara and the annoyingly cryptic notes that she left behind. But together they must untangle Shara's trail of clues and find her. It'll be worth it if Chloe can drag Shara back before graduation and to beat her fair and square. Thrown into an unlikely alliance, chasing a ghost through parties, break-ins, puzzles, and secrets revealed on monogrammed stationery, Chloe starts to suspect there might be more to this small town than she thought. And maybe, probably not, but maybe, more to Shara too. This sounds so fun, and I love an academic rivalry. I will surprise no one, was a high school valedictorian when I graduated. So I really feel Chloe and Shara, they both want to be valedictorian, and I can empathize with that, certainly. Next, a new book from Emily St. John Mandel. It might be St. John Mandel, but I think it's probably St. John. She's the author of The Glass Hotel and Station 11, both of which I loved. And so this new book, Sea of Tranquility, is published on April 19th. Edwin St. Andrew is 18 years old when he crosses the Atlantic by steamship, exiled from polite society following an ill-conceived diatribe at a dinner party. He enters the forest, spellbound by the beauty of the Canadian wilderness, and suddenly he hears the notes of a violin echoing in an airship terminal, an experience that shocks him to his core. 2 centuries later, a famous writer named Olive Llewellyn is on a book tour. She's traveling all over Earth, but her home is the second moon colony, a place of white stone, spire towers, and artificial beauty. Within the text of Olive's best-selling pandemic novel lies a strange passage. A man plays his violin for change in the echoing corridor of an airship terminal as the trees of the forest rise around him. When Gasperi Jacques Roberts, a detective in the black-skied Night City, is hired to investigate an anomaly in the North American wilderness, he uncovers a series of lives upended. The exiled son of an earl is driven to madness, a writer trapped far from home as a pandemic ravages Earth, and a childhood friend from the Night City who, like Gasperi himself, has glimpsed the chance to do something extraordinary that will disrupt the timeline of the universe. A virtuoso performance that is human and tender as it is intellectually playful, Sea of Tranquility is a novel of time travel and metaphysics that precisely captures the reality of our current moment. So, this sounds like it might possibly have some cameos from Station 11, since there are definitely writers in that, and it is set during and after a big pandemic. So I am so pumped for this. Like, I was excited just knowing that she was going to write a new book, but now that like I really know what it's about. Moving on, The Gifts That Bind Us by Carolyn O'Donoghue. Carolyn O'Donoghue is one of my favorite authors. She has written adult standalones, Promising Young Women, and Scenes of a Graphic Nature, and they are both excellent. This year, in 2021, she published her first YA book, All Our Hidden Gifts, which is one of my top reads of 2021 for sure. And now she's coming out with the sequel, The Gifts That Bind Us. So this comes out on March 3rd. So this obviously follows on from the first book, which the main character Maeve finds a tarot card, starts reading it for her friends, and her ex-best friend Lily goes missing. And so she has to team up with Maeve's older sibling and a new friend and try to get Lily back from whatever mysterious power has taken her. So Maeve and her friends have revealed their powers and banded together as a coven. Ro can pick locks, Lily sends spark flying, Maeve can read minds, and Fiona can heal any injury. And even better than their newfound talents, Ro and Maeve are officially an item. But with strange things happening at school, the old enemies reappearing in new places, it soon becomes clear that their powers are attracting all the wrong attention. It is not before Maeve's gifts start to wane, drained by someone or something, that's hiding from everything even from her second sight. So this looks somehow even more juicy than the first one. And another thing that I really enjoyed about All Our Hidden Gifts is that obviously it is a very fun adventure story with high stakes and lots of interesting magic. Beneath that, there is like another deeper layer of talking about people vulnerable to cults and how people in this kind of culty power specifically search for people with unresolved trauma that they can exploit. So that's a whole undercurrent, and I'm so excited for this. I am making a prediction that maybe this book will be in my top reads of 2022. I am certainly hopeful. And last on this list, The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. This is another fantasy series sequel. It comes out April 5th, and the first book in the series is The Gilded Ones, which when I read, I had really high expectations for it, and it exceeded them. So I am very excited for this new book in the series. It has been 6 months since Decca has freed the goddesses and discovered who she really is. There are now wars waging across the kingdom. Otarians now think Jatu are traitors to the nation. Decca is called a monster. But the real battle has only just begun, and Decca must lead the charge. Decca is tasked with freeing the rest of the goddesses. Only as she begins to free them, she begins to see the strange symbol everywhere in the places of worship and worn-on armor. There's something unnatural about that symbol. Just looking at it makes Decca lose her senses. Even worse is that she seems to repel her own powers. She can't even communicate or command with the new death shrieks. In fact, she can't even understand them when they speak. Decca knows freeing the goddesses is just the beginning. She can tell whatever dark forces out there is powerful, and there is something sinister out there threatening the kingdom connected to that symbol, something merciless, that her army will need to stop before humanity crumbles. But Decca's powers are only getting stronger, and her strongest weapon could be herself. So that's it. Cute little list of books that I'm looking forward to coming out next year. If you have other recommendations that you are excited for, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.